Hi there, Ian here from TVision, and today I want to go over some of the features of the financial system in Business Central. So, Business Central is an ERP solution. It will manage your entire business end to end, but at the core is a solid financial system. With all financial systems, you start with your general ledger or chart of accounts, as we call it in Business Central. And Business Central gives you a 100% customizable chart of accounts. If you are a small business, you've never used a formal accounting package before, Business Central comes with a pre-designed chart of accounts suitable for UK operations. If you're an existing company and you've been working with an accounting package, you can import your existing chart of accounts, the structure and the layout, and Business Central is quite happy with that. Or if you want to redo a chart of accounts from scratch, you can start with a blank screen and build your chart of accounts one by one. It will cater for your needs, whichever way you need to go. When I'm looking at my chart of accounts, you'll see I've got some numbers here, 3 columns, they're all the same. If I do a quick filter on this, and I'll do a date filter just for the January 2023 up to the end of January 2023, and you'll see when I type in my dates, I'm being a little bit lazy. I let BC fill in the slashes for me. But now that I have pressed that, you will notice I've got 3 different columns. I'm seeing my balance of these accounts as they stand today, the balance of these accounts as they were at the end of this period, so end of January 2023, and the movement in those accounts for January 2023. And all of these numbers, they're fully interactive, so that £255, I can click on that and it opens up and shows me these are all the transactions that make up that £255. I can choose any one of them and I can ask the system to find entries. Business Central is going to go look through and find all related entries to this transaction. There was a posted sales document. There are 11 other general ledger entries, one a VAT entry, 2 customer ledger entries, 5 detailed entries, and 3 item ledger entries, value entries. And I can click on that posted sales invoice and BC will take me to that posted document. I can see who we sold to, the items that we sold, the quantities, the prices, if there were discounts, the total, how much VAT, etc. And I can have a look at those other GL postings just by clicking on that number, and I can see the GL postings in here for sales, VAT, credit control, inventory costs, etc. So you can trace from a general ledger entry all the related entries in the GL all the way back to the source document. And it works the other way in Business Central as well. If you find a source document, you find a posted purchase order or a posted sales order, for example, you can click on it and you can drill all the way across to the finished posted entries in your general ledger. It doesn't matter what currency you are posting your entries in. So your sales, your purchases, your bank entries, they can be in multiple currencies. The system will convert them to pound sterling and populate your general ledger. There's no limit on the number of currencies that you can use. So on this system, I have got quite a lot of currencies, more than you would typically see. And for every one of these currencies, let's pick on euros. That's one that's often used. Make it a little bit bigger. I can look at the exchange rate history for euros. Every month I can come and I can put in a new exchange rate. I could do that weekly. I could do it daily if I wanted to. And if I was really keen, I can set up an exchange rate service. So instead of me typing in what the exchange rates are, I can ask it to update itself from the web. That can even be put onto a job queue within Business Central to update automatically every morning or update 4 times a day, every Friday, whatever your requirements are. It handles those multi-currency transactions. It posts any foreign currency gains and losses as exchange rates change. It keeps track of all of that for you and it just works. Also within Business Central, we have dimensions. Dimensions, you might know them as analysis codes. Every single transaction, you can append dimensions to those transactions. So you can say which department this is for, which cost center, which region, which sales team, what campaign, etc. So that at the end of the month, at the end of the year, you can do your financial reporting by cost center, by department, by sales team, and you can get some proper financial reports broken down in the buckets that you need. And you can make those dimensions compulsory, you can make them optional, you can set up default values, you can set up allowable values to make sure that people are actually capturing things correctly. But even beyond that, when you set up your customers, when you set up your vendors, when you set up your items, you can set for this customer, these are the dimensions that you should be posting with his transactions. For these items, these are the dimensions that you should be posting with this. And you can put restrictions on your general ledger to say where they are compulsory and where they are optional. For that foreign currency, you can also have multiple companies within the system. So in this system, I have a few demo companies here. All of these companies could be in different currencies. And there are intercompany journals and intercompany transactions that you can post in any of your companies against any of your other companies in any currency. The system will do the currency conversions for you and make those transactions work. You can also do consolidation. So you can set up a consolidation company and you can ask it to bring together the child companies so that you can report them all in one place. And again, you can tell it how you want it to handle those foreign currencies. Do you want to use their exchange rates? Do you want to use your exchange rates, etc.? And it just makes life very easy to do your financial reporting. Within your banking element of the finance, you can have multiple bank accounts. I think I've only got 2 set up here. You can set up bank accounts. You can set those bank accounts up in any currency that you want. Against each bank account, you can import statements from your bank to do your bank reconciliations. And you can semi-automate that by asking it to automatically match entries if the dates, amounts, and descriptions are the same. You only have to pick up the ones that it couldn't find an exact match for. Makes posting your bank recons quite easy. When you're paying your vendors, there's a payment journal. You can ask Business Central to suggest to you from all the invoices that you've captured against your creditors, looking at the due dates, which ones does the system think you should be paying today? You can take those recommendations, you can accept them, you can change them, you can delete lines, you can add lines, you can post them and export a BEX file to send to your bank to make payment. You have your customers and your vendors on the system. Let's just look at customers. Vendors look very similar, just the other way around. And against your customers, you store some information about them, but again, they have a balance, and this could be in a local currency, it could be in a foreign currency. I'm looking at the local currency. You can drill on that. It shows you the transactions that make up that balance. You can choose any of these invoices, and you can ask the system to find entries, and it will go and find all the related entries to this entry in the customer ledger. Same in the vendor ledger, same in the item ledgers. You can always trace backwards and forwards where things are going and coming from. Also within the system, you can look after your fixed assets. You can look after your fixed assets either integrated into your general ledger, your chart of accounts, or you can keep them separately from your chart of accounts and just do journals to update your fixed asset values. With the integration turns on, you can use journals or you can use purchase invoices to buy your fixed assets, and that will do the take on for you. You can run the depreciation monthly using various depreciation methods. And when you dispose of the fixed asset, you can use a sales invoice if you wanted to, and the system would do the disposal for you, calculate your gains and losses in any currency. It just works and it makes your life really simple. But if you wanted to, you can post the journals. The system's not going to stop you. For all of the transactions that you're posting, usually there's VAT involved. VAT is built in based on who you're transacting with, the goods that you're transacting. The system will just figure out the correct VAT rate so your end users don't have to start typing these things in. It will keep record. MTD submissions to HMRC are built into the system. It literally takes a few minutes to do your MTD submission, and it involves 4 or 5 mouse clicks, as long as everything obviously balances. If it doesn't balance, there are tools there for you to do reconciliations and see where your differences are coming from. Reporting at the end of the week, month, year, whatever, you have to do your financial reporting. There are plenty of ways of doing your reporting. I'm going to go back to my chart of accounts. Looking at my chart of accounts, I've got columns and rows. This looks a little bit like an Excel spreadsheet. And in fact, there's a button up here to open this in Excel. What that's going to do, if you've got the desktop version of Excel, it will give you a file that you can download and open. I have the web version, so it's opened my web version of Excel for me with the exact information I'm looking at here, displayed on an Excel spreadsheet. From this, I can build a report. I can present an income statement, a balance sheet, etc. If that's not enough for you, there are financial reports built into the system that are fully user customizable. You can choose what rows you want on there, which GL accounts do you want to put on your financial report, what columns do you want? Do you want to see movement? Do you want to see balances? Do you want to see the budget? Do you want to compare this month versus this month's budget, this month versus last month, this year, year to date, compared to last year, year to date, compared to the budget year to date? You can do all that kind of reporting. And there are third-party reporting tools such as Power BI, Jet Reports, Cosmos, etc., where you can do your own ad hoc reporting. And that Excel integration that you saw there, there's more than just open in Excel. You can edit in Excel. If you're in finance, you're doing a journal, maybe you want to type up your journal in Excel. You can do that with this tool. Work in Excel, finish your journal, say publish, and it will send it back to Business Central. And you just have to come here and click the post button. So Excel and Business Central, they're fully integrated together. Even Word. Anywhere where you print a report, you can export those reports as Word documents. You can change the layout of that Word document. You can move things around, move your logo to a different side of the page, put in some lines before the total, put in some fixed text at the bottom, whatever you want to do. Send it back to Business Central and you have updated your invoice layout or your credit note layout or your financial report layout. So next time you print it, it looks the way you want it. Even with Excel, most of the reports you can export to Excel. You can change that Excel spreadsheet. You can add a pivot table, put in a chart, etc. Send it back to BC so that BC knows next time it prints this report in Excel format, it will include the pivot table. It will include the chart. There's a lot more to finance within Business Central, but pretty much anything you throw at it, it can handle. Thank you very much.